All right, this is Jeff Zimmerman with FightNews.com. I've got the undefeated hot prospect from Top Rank, Troy, the Transformer, Isley. Got a big fight on the Shakur undercard, April 8th at the Prudential Center in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, on ESPN. How you doing, Troy?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, man, I'm doing well. As we were talking at the top, I'm here in Dallas. I know you're a big Cowboy fan.
Yeah, yeah, big Cowboy fan.
So listen, man, before we get into the fight, because I know it's a big fight for you, you're in Arizona right now, correct? With the Ramos combination?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, are you working with Jesus or Abel or both?
I'm working with Jesus right now, helping him out for the Joey Spence fight. Getting good quality rounds every session, elite, being pushed to the max. So I'm getting, the greatest, the great work right now I need, and I'll definitely be ready come fight day. And come fight day, I know my opponent ain't on Jesus level, so I'm ready to dominate.
Yeah, I talked to Jesus about a week ago. I interviewed him and told me about camp and everything. And he's got a big fight coming up himself, like you said, with Joey Spencer, March 25th under Caleb and David Benavidez.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're giving each other good work then.
Hmm.
Great. So listen, man, I know also, I mentioned an undefeated pro, but you're an Olympian, had a stellar amateur career, just a lot of different titles, USA, et cetera. But talk about your journey. I don't know, you're kind of, you hear Keyshawn a lot, Shakur, you hear a lot of these other guys, see them in
Yeah,
social media, but you're kind of
yeah.
a hidden gem, I feel like. Talk about your journey into boxing.
Well, I got into boxing. I used to fight a lot outside of school. So my gym was at a recreation center, and I went to the same rec from when I was 5, and from when I was 5 to 8, and I would get in fights every day. Like every day, my dad came pick me up, I'd be in timeout or something like that. So one day I got into a fight again, and then someone walked me to K and was like, "K, this kid always fighting. Can you do something with him?" And I didn't do nothing that day, so I started. My dad picked me up that day, asked me did I want to try it out. I was like, sure, yeah, why not? And when I came back, it was just an instant fit. I wound up sparring like a bunch of local guys, a bunch of kids, and I did my thing against all of them. And my dad picked me up again, and K and DP were like, you keep bringing him back, we can make him a national champion. And those words that stuck with me, and I kept coming back. But I've always been overlooked. I mean, that's kind of just I don't know. I just always bring that type of overlooked energy. That's how I got my name, the Transformer. Going to shows, going to tournaments, I would always get, overlooked, or I would always get overlooked, or there are people that just be like, oh, he's not gonna do nothing. Then I'll fight, and then they'd be like, oh shit, this guy's exciting. Like, god damn, he's mean, he's exciting, and everybody. Eventually, people every time I fought, people would be at the ring, like, and then Kay was like, "We gonna call you the Transformer because you quiet, you quiet, laid back, but when you get in the ring, you transform." So that's how I got that name. But I mean, it's always been like that, low key. And then I feel like my breakout year was like 2014 when I won everything that year, PALs, Junior Worlds, and then in the JOs, I got outstanding fighter that year. I feel like that was like my breakout year. That's when everybody, started to really, really know who I was as a fighter. And then maybe 3 years later, 2 years later, I won nationals, got on Team USA. Then I start going to Pan Am's, going to Worlds and stuff like that. Start really, getting the recognition I deserve. But I still feel like it's low key, but I ain't tripping about it. That just make me work 10 times harder.
Yeah, and for the audience out there, when you say K Koroma, one of the top trainers in the business, so he
Yeah,
was he was a trainer at a local gym of yours growing up.
yeah, yeah. Me and K started together. So my first day in the gym was with K. K knows me. He's basically like a dad. So, but K knows me. He knows what I'm gonna do. He knows how I'm gonna act and stuff like that. So, yeah, K for sure. I definitely started with K, and K started bringing me to them national tournaments. And, that's how we met. Shakur and Keyshawn and all those guys.
Did you know that Kay was one of the top trainers at that time, or you're too young to even realize it?
But I was too young to realize it. I was just a football player, and just I would go to the rec, kill some time and go play and stuff like that. But no, I wasn't paying any attention to it.
Yeah, right place, right time, it sounds like. That's great. And so you fell in love with the sport, and you seem like an old soul to me. And,
Yeah,
but I say that your favorite fighter, Sugar Ray Leonard, obviously from the same hometown. Um,
yeah.
you're 25 years old. Tell me why Sugar Ray besides the same, birthplace.
Sugar Ray my dad's a big Sugar Ray guy, but I was always like growing up, when I wasn't, I ain't gonna say when I wasn't as good, but when I wanted to, get to the level when I was still green growing up, I would always look at the '80s little timing, and Sugar Ray, Hearns, all those were the big guys. And I just kind of gravitated to Sugar Ray, his offensive style, how he finishes, his charisma. I just like how he fight, and I feel like we're not the exact same fighter, but I feel like offensive game and combination wise, like how we put combination together and how we finish. I kind of learned that from him. But I feel like I got more of the Hagler kind of like charisma, but I feel like my offensive game fits Sugar Leonard a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, and just so you know, today's the 2-year anniversary of Hagler's passing. So
Yeah,
when I was doing my homework and it said Sugar Ray, it made sense being from that, that area. Sugar Ray is my favorite fighter of all time. But
yeah,
the fact your mentality, like you said, is probably more Hagler because Sugar Ray is obviously more, he's charismatic and more
yeah.
out there. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it seems like you're more built like Hagler. You're built like a tank.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel it. Hagler, yeah, Hagler, Holyfield. Well, Sugar Ray, Hagler, Holyfield, Andre Ward, and a little bit of Roy Jones. Those were my guys growing up.
Listen, man, you can't go wrong with any of those guys. So um, hopefully Sugar Ray will see this. And have you had a chance to meet Sugar Ray?
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Okay, well, hopefully one day. And he's everything you think of in person as well. Just a great guy. Um, but listen, you were one of the few pros, and correct me if I'm wrong. I know Keyshawn did it,
Duke.
that turned pro, and then they allowed pros in the Olympics.
Yeah.
You and Duke Reagan, I believe, and Keyshawn. Is that
Mm.
correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What was that experience like? I talked to Keyshawn after he fought at Cowboy Stadium, in fact, one of his early fights, and then he went to the Olympics. What was that experience like, turning pro and then getting that opportunity?
I mean, I've always wanted to be an Olympian. Growing up in the same gym I trained at Alexandria, we had all the 2012, the '08, we had all the posters. So I would just always see that, and then just that was just like I want to be on one of those posters. That just became a goal of mine, and going to the Olympics meant a lot to me. I mean, growing up in Alexandria, we didn't have a lot of people overlooked like they don't. I would say overlook, but a lot of people they set their dreams short. They don't believe that they can get that far because no one's never done it before. So I mean, what making the Olympics meant to me was like it just meant if you talk about any athlete from Alexandria, you gotta bring my name up, and then as well as it showed kids that there's a way your dreams you can dream big, and what I'm saying, if you work hard for it, and it can come true. But
Yeah, and so now you're with arguably the best promoter in the business with Top
yeah,
Rank, and they just have a niche for signing Olympic kids, and then top young talent, like Shakur, Keyshawn, Big Baby, Tiger. I mean, you guys are like a USA Dream Team, if you remember the basketball team with Magic, Bird, Jordan, or the LeBron, Kobe, etc.
yeah.
Do you guys talk about that amongst yourself? I mean, boxing is obviously an individual sport, but you're all about the same age. You guys are the future of the sport in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that. Honestly, I compare our team to like those 80, 84, 88, I think, the Purnell, those teams, and then like the kind of like the 96 teams, like the young people who were just like, I won't say moving them fast, but they were moving fast. Like, you know, the Dave Reeves, the Fernando Vargas, the Floyd Mayweather, that whole 96, team was just moving, fast from the break. So, I definitely, we always talk about it all the time. Like, we about to take this game over. And, even as amateurs, we said, we set little goals. Like we said we would do that. Eventually, we'll be fighting on the same cards with each other. We just, we all had the same goals, and, we stuck with it. But we always talked about everything we're doing now. We talked about while we was on the team.
Yeah, it's great to see, and I apologize for the voice. Like I mentioned earlier, finding something here. But talk about you're 8-0. So talk about that movement. Obviously, Top Rank is legendary for matchmaking and moving fighters. You mentioned Floyd, you mentioned Oscar, those guys. Shakur, obviously a world champion. Big Baby is probably not too far behind. What are your goals? I know you're only 24 years old still, but you talk about, maybe moving fast. You got a lot of amateur experience. What's in store for you?
This year, I definitely want to, get in the top 15 at 154 and 160, get in the top 15, get in the rankings, and then next year, if not early next year, late next year, we can get a title shot.
Get a title shot next year?
Yeah, hopefully, if not later next year, then if not early next year, then later next year for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned working with Jesus Ramos, who I believe is in an eliminator at 154. You mentioned just the good work you're getting with him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does that show you that you're ready to take on the top of the division?
Yeah, definitely. And then not just following him. I mean, I worked with Swift Jared Hurd when he was at the top, when he was unified. Same Crawford. I work with a lot of pros. So I've been, feeling like, I just got to, move right and, get developed right. I feel like Top Rank was the great move, because I feel like they made, the De La Hoyas, all the money makers, and all the people that are like, all the pay-per-view stars, if they didn't finish with Top Rank, they started with them. So I feel like, Top Rank has the perfect, route, they're taking a perfect route in my career. I'm real cool with Brad, he loves me, so we're real cool. So I feel like Brad, moving me right, giving me the right fights. He's not giving me easy guys that I can just go over. He's giving me guys that's that's making me work, making me think a little bit. That's also testing my patience too as well.
Yeah, so let's go to the fight, because that's what we're here to talk about. But I appreciate the backstory. I think a lot of fans that may not know you, because the Olympics in 2020 with COVID and everything, it was a little tough on everybody. But to hear your backstory is quite impressive. But you are fighting a guy who's I believe 9-3, Roy Barringer. 4 or 5 knockouts himself. So as you said, they're moving you along. Is this the right guy at the right time?
I feel like it's the right guy at the right time. He not easy. I feel like I'm better than him. I feel like my skill is better than him. I feel like I bring overall better things to the table than he does. But he's not just a walk in the park. He's the right fight I need for right now.
Yeah, and it's your second 8-rounder too, right, Troy?
Yeah, second 8-rounder. Yeah.
Okay. And again, the Jeff Zimmerman, FightNews.com. I'm with the former Olympian, undefeated pro, Troy Isley. Got a big fight coming up on April 8th on the undercard of Shakur Stevenson's homecoming. Let me ask you, a fight just took place this past weekend around your weight class, 154, Tim Tszyu and Tony Harrison. Did you see the fight, and what did you think?
Got to see it. I mean, I felt like Harrison was a little past his prime, but I mean, I felt like Tszyu looked good. He picked him apart, but I want to see Tszyu against somebody else, like a Charlo or something like that, before I can rate him. But he's definitely a good fighter. He's got talent. He's definitely a fighter that I'm watching out for, in the future for sure.
Yeah, and I think he's lined up to fight Charlo next. So how do you see that fight playing out?
It's a good fight. It's a good fight. I'm a go Charlo, but Zoo could win. It's definitely a 50-50 fight. Charlo don't take him serious.
You talked about your patience, getting more patient in the ring. It seems like that's what Zoo did in this fight.
Yeah. He wasn't just rushing like the Gachet fight. He got caught in the first round trying to rush into something. He definitely took his time and broke him down. Just was in his face a lot. That mental pressure broke Harrison down a little bit too as well. Just always in his face, not going anywhere. So I definitely seen that too. He definitely showed a lot better patience too, and he was good counters and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah. And then another fight just right above your weight class. We talked about Jesus Ramos. He's the co-main under Benavides and Plant, which two guys that do not like each other. How do you see that fight playing out?
I'm rooting for Plant, and I'm going for Plant for the box out, man. I feel like David Benavidez is taking it a little too personal. I don't know. I don't know. I like Benavidez. I just feel like Plant gonna have to get a good game plan. I feel like Plant gonna box him out. I feel like they're gonna sleep on him a little bit. I feel like Plant gonna box him out for the upset.
You think he'll win in a decision?
Unanimous decision, yeah. No knockout for sure. No knockout, yeah. Definitely a decision. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's definitely a 50-50 fight, but I'm rocking with Plant. But it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I interviewed David a week or so ago, and he acknowledges it's going to be a tough fight. I mean, he's been training his ass off, he said, for 3 months. So as much as he's talking, it sounds like he's putting in the work as well. So it should be a hell of a fight. Two more fights for you, Troy. I know you mentioned Crawford earlier. If the fight with Spence takes place, that's another 50-50 fight, but how do you see that fight?
It's another 50-50 fight for sure. But I mean, I'm a rock with Crawford. We're rock with Crawford.
And why?
I feel like he's being slept on a little bit. I feel like everybody keeps saying he's too small. But I don't know. I just feel like Crawford is the overall better fighter. But I don't know. I wouldn't have a reason why, but I'm gonna go with Crawford for that fight.
Okay, and then
another tough one, another 50-50.
There's no easy hit. I only give you hard matchups on this interview, but one more for you. The mega fight, the biggest fight in boxing that just had the 2-day press tour, Tank and King Ryan.
I'm going Tank by knockout in the later rounds. Maybe the 6th or 7th. But if Ryan has a good game plan, because Tank has been getting hit a lot, maybe he shows something different because he knows Ryan's the bigger fighter. He's not gonna go in there like being lackadaisical on his defense. But I'm gonna go Tank with a later round knockout, maybe 7th or 8th round knockout.
No hesitation there.
No hesitation. I like Ryan though. I just feel like this is his first big fight.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I know you got a lot of big fights ahead of you. No bigger than the one coming up April 8th against Roy Barringer. Let me ask you something real quick, because it sounds like you've been around Shakur a lot, probably growing up, amateurs, etc. He's a different fighter, right? He's a special fighter. I mean, I've talked to different people in the business, but what makes him so special?
To me, he just always know what to do. He just got one of the best ring IQs I've ever seen. Like, he always know what to do. He always know what to do. Never panic. Great defense, great distance. Just overall complete fighter. And then his IQ is just through the roof. He always know what to do in the right situation. That's what I try to steal from him. Just always knowing what to do in every situation. Never panicking. And then that confidence as well. He's definitely a special fighter.
Do you feel like he's the best out of that crop of 135, 140? I mean, there's a lot of good fighters, but
I feel like he's the best. But it's definitely a tough group of people. I feel like he's the best, and Keyshawn's definitely coming up for sure. Keyshawn definitely right behind him for sure.
Yeah,
He'll be there soon.
Yeah. Is Keyshawn on the same card as you guys?
Keyshawn the co-main.
He's the co-main. Okay.
Keyshawn the co. No. Jared the co-main. Keyshawn's right before Jared.
Okay, and you'll be on the telecast though?
No, I won't be on the telecast. I think I'll be on the plus. Nigga be on the plus.
Okay. Thanks for pointing that out. But listen, man, you guys got a hell of a squad over there at Top Rank. You guys are doing some big things, and look forward to keep watching your success and watching all of you guys grow. I think it's great for boxing, and like you said, that dream team. Purnell and 84 Olympics and all those guys were something special. So you guys can certainly get there. But I'm here again, Troy Isley, April 8th, ESPN Plus, Shakur Stevenson's homecoming, the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Troy, man, I appreciate the time. How can people follow you?
Twitter, Go Transformer, Instagram, Boxboy Troy 1, and Facebook, Troy Isley. All
right, you heard it there. Go follow Troy and listen to this interview. You got a lot of good background info, and best of luck on April 8th, my friend.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Thank you.